welcome to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him at gods5minutes@gmail.com. Now, here's Ed Wilson with God's 5 Minutes.
Hello, friends. The book of Esther tells the story of a series of events that took place during the time of Jewish captivity in Babylon. Antagonism had developed between the king's chief minister Haman and one of the Jews, Mordecai, whose cousin Esther was newly chosen queen. Disdaining to merely punish one man, Haman plotted the destruction of every Jew under Babylonian rule. Mordecai asked Esther to intervene, whereupon she told him anyone coming into the king's presence without being summoned was liable to death unless he extended the scepter, and that she had not been summoned in a month. This ridiculously arrogant law gives us a peep into the delirious self-importance in which these Persian kings lived, and certainly hints at why their reigns were so filled with vice and disasters. How could any ruler who shut himself from all but lackeys and bootlickers possibly live a wholesome life or understand the needs of his citizens? No wonder the victims of this delusionary importance beat the sea with rods when it was presumptuous enough to wreck their ships, or that the Greeks crushed their armies and navies. Or think a moment of the unfeeling heartlessness that kept the king's favored queen from even so much as being in his presence for a month, though living in the same palace. A man's wife should mean more to him than that. Esther related all this to Mordecai, as if to say, "You see how it is. You're asking me to put my life at peril. Do you still want me, who am no more important ambassador but a mere maiden, to go into his assembly and try to dissuade this proud ruler of great affairs of state?" She didn't refuse. She simply clearly stated her case. His poor courage that must shut its eyes to face a peril. How rare to find the bravery that clearly sees danger and yet valiantly faces it in the same package. We're wise to count the cost before we take up arms, but after we have counted the cost, to take them up and mean it. Mordecai's answer was essentially that since you, Esther, are Jewish, you are under the same indictment with Haman as all. If you decline, it could mean destruction for you and all your family. Who knows if God has put you in your lofty position for this hour? And if you decline, God will bring deliverance from some other source. Then Esther bade them return Mordecai this answer: "Go, gather together all the Jews that are present at Shushan, and fast ye for me. Neither eat nor drink 3 days, night or day. I also and my maidens will fast likewise, and so will I go in unto the king, which is not according to the law, and if I perish, I perish." So Mordecai went his way, and did according to all that Esther had commanded him. Part of the lesson of the book of Esther, predicated as it is on the noble principles of self-sacrifice for others' good, is a thought of God's purpose in giving Esther her position. It carries large truth applicable to us all. The source of all endowments of position, possessions, or capacities is God. His purpose in them all goes far beyond the happiness of the receiver. Dignities and gifts of every sort are ours for use in carrying out his great designs of good to our fellows. Esther was made queen, not that she might live in luxury or be the plaything of a king, but that she might serve Israel. Power is duty. Responsibility is measured by capacity. Obligation attends advantages. Gifts are burdens. All of us are stewards, and God gives his servants their talents, not for selfish squandering or hoarding, but for trade, with the profits to be paid to him. This penetrating insight into the source and intention of all that we have provides useful instruction for us all. The fair young heroine's soul rose to the occasion and responded with a swift determination to her older cousin's lofty words. Her pathetic request for the prayers of the people for whose sake she was facing death, surely more than superstition. Little as it says about her faith in God, it obviously underlay her courage. A soul that dares death in obedience to his will and in dependence on his aid demonstrates its godliness more forcibly in its silence than is often done with loud protestations.
You have been listening to God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson. Reach him by email at godsfiveminutes@gmail.com. Tune in next time to hear more encouraging thoughts from God's Word on God's 5 Minutes with Pastor Ed Wilson.